All right, y'all, so we're gonna get back to our cool late summer night in southeast Oklahoma. Let's get back to these entrails here. All right, so got the entrails half out. I got it cut down to the sternum. Now I'm gonna pull this large intestine out, and then we'll see how the tie worked, how I tied it off up there with that tie, and I'll show you how that works, how that looks now. All right, here's the bladder up here at the top, that little sac. I'm gonna try and go quick because my camera's gonna die. So let's get this out. All right. All right. All right, we're pulling that out. Get your hands up in there, and there we go. All right, and here we go. That's where we tied that colon off at. Right there. That's where we tied it off, and it's sealed. Then we just pull this away, separate that large intestine. All right, and the bladder comes along with it. That's the bladder right there. It's full of pee. Try not to puncture it. All right, and we're gonna keep pulling. Okay. Now everything, we're gonna let gravity do most of the work. We're gonna pull gently, but as long as you don't take a knife to this, most of it will just come. Then you're not gonna puncture anything. You shouldn't anyway. Just keep on pulling. Reach up in there if you need to, and start pulling again. There's the stomach. All right, take that back. Now, if you need to slice right here, when you get this part out, when you're almost to the diaphragm, you can slice here a little bit. You're gonna reach the liver here momentarily. We'll take our knife, and you can cut close to the spine back here. You see? Just to loosen that up a bit, and then that'll come along. All right, now let's keep on pulling. You're gonna expose the liver here momentarily. All right, let's pull that liver out. This chambered looking organ. Oh, we gotta push it out the other side there because it's stuck. All right, get that third part. Now we're gonna take that liver, find where the liver originates, and cut the liver off. We like the liver around here. We love it, actually. So here's the liver. All right, clean surface. Here's the gallbladder. This is the smallest gallbladder I've ever seen on an animal. That's the gallbladder. To remove the gallbladder, and this works every time. This is what creates bile to help the animal digest its food. You're gonna take that knife and slice it back a little bit. Don't puncture the tube, and try not to puncture this sac that holds the bile in it. But you're gonna pull that clean off right there, like that. See that? That's the bile, or that's the gallbladder. Remove that, and that is trash. The rest of this we wash off. This is an extremely clean and healthy looking liver right here. Extremely good looking liver. So we're gonna set that right there. If one of the dogs try to get it, I'm gonna butcher them next. Just kidding. All right, so next we're at the diaphragm. So we got all these entrails. This is called caul fat right here. You see this net looking fat? We're not gonna use that, but that's used all around the world for various different things, for a lot of different dishes, but I'm not gonna use it right now. So we're gonna take the diaphragm. The diaphragm is called the diaphragm because it is a membrane that separates the stomach cavity from the lungs. Cut around the ribs and cut the diaphragm off. Then you're gonna enter into the thorax, and you're gonna see why the ribs are there, protecting the lungs and the heart. All right, now you can run your knife along the spine again right here. That's the aorta. That is a major artery. All right, cut along the spine, You don't normally need a knife, but I'm just doing it just to make it a little easier. And then you're gonna reach down in there and you're gonna cut the throat. Sorry, you're gonna cut the esophagus at the end. You're gonna reach down there and find 2 tubes at the very other side of the lungs down there, because you're gonna be entering into the throat. After you get out of the rib cage, you're gonna enter into the throat after that. And it's gonna, so you want to reach down in there, be careful, get your knife down in there, down below your hands, do not stab or cut yourself, and pull up on these lungs, and then get that and cut the esophagus. All right, cut that esophagus, and so you can remove this whole thing right here. All right, there we go. Now don't drop it in your, don't drop your heart in your bucket. All right, we're gonna cut this off. Since we're disconnected from the animal, we can remove that, because I don't want these lung and heart to be too heavy. All right, right there. So that's why your left lung is smaller than your right lung. Here's your lungs. Right behind your lungs, you got the heart. It's in this little sack. We're gonna cut that sack, expose the heart like so, and then remove it just like that. Okay, there we go. I cut a little bit off the heart, but that's okay. It's got blood clots in there. We're gonna clean that out. Make sure you get all those blood clots out so that it's nice and clean. All the meat's nice and clean. All right, so now we're gonna just remove the rest of the diaphragm so that these lungs will come loose. We're just gonna take it and saw like in a V pattern down to the sternum. Okay, just like so. Okay, there's your bucket of entrails. Let's take that away. All right, next we need to saw this carcass in half. We're gonna take this knife, this saw, and put that blade on. Wash my hands up really quick. All right, now let's saw this carcass in half. All right, so let me show you this really quick. This is, if you ever, leaf lard, this is leaf lard right here. There'll be a membrane that separates the stomach cavity from the leaf lard, and that leaf lard is the cleanest on the animal. If I was butchering this pig all the way, then I'd be taking that leaf lard out and I'd be rendering it down, and I'd be making that fat into pie crust, biscuits. It's the cleanest fat on the animal. Now here is among the leaf lard, that's why they call it kidney fat. I guess it is essentially kidney fat. Here are the kidneys right there. You're gonna leave those on the animal. There's an old butcher joke. How do you cook kidneys? You boil the piss out of them. So, all right, so to saw this carcass in half, we're gonna take the saw and we're gonna put it right in between the legs, and you're gonna just kind of look at everything. Just do a once over of everything and make sure you're right in the middle, all squared up on all angles. Just make sure you cut right down the direct center of that spine. I hope I can do it properly this time. Most of the time it works well, sometimes it don't, but that's your goal. You want to cut right down the center of the spine. And just so you know, and to remove this penis, I did not cut any, so we're going to be using the saw, and the saw is going to be cutting the fat and the meat on the back. Let me remove this penis right here. All right, so find the penis and cut it back, and it connects right here in between the legs. Oh, I don't know if I can. And then find that spot where it connects, and then remove that. Okay, sorry this is at night, y'all, but it got later than I thought it was going to. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna square it up, and we're gonna do long, consistent strokes. It's easy to make it pat through the pelvis. The pelvis goes real quick. And then afterward, find your middle I don't know if y'all can see that, but I'm just gonna do long, consistent strokes right down the center of the animal. If you need to stop and look at everything, do it once over, do it. Okay. Kind of botching this carcass, it's okay. Hi, handsome. All right, let's make sure we're in the middle. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, as y'all can see, I'm right in the middle of that spine, just like so. We're gonna finish it off now. I'm coming off center a little bit. We're gonna correct, and then go continue on.